In 2022, researchers analyzed millions of online job postings to determine what proportion of the job market is fully remote. Based on these results, they wanted to determine if there's a significant difference between the proportions of remote jobs in North America versus the proportion of remote jobs in Europe. If needed, refer to the tool to answer the questions. Is this a one sample or two sample significance test? Well, we just want to know whether there's a difference, and it doesn't specify whether one is more than the other. So it's a two sample test. We'll do the hypothesis that the differences are that there's no difference at all. So H0 would be that P hat 1 is equal to P hat 2. And the alternative would be that P hat 1 is not equal to P hat 2. And so what we're saying is that the means for each one of these groups, we're going to assume that they're the same. And if they're the same and we come across this following situation, does this situation contradict whether this hypothesis that there's no difference? So, researchers pulled a random sample of 1,000 jobs in North America and 2,000 jobs in Europe. The results are displayed in this table. So, we've got remote, in person, and total. So, in North America, out of 311 of these, 115 um, were remote. And in Europe, 2,689, 885 are in Europe. And so those means, um, are they, is this evidence that is going to make us reject the fact that these two are the same? And so if they're the same, then this should be in line with that. But maybe this, when we do the statistics, maybe this might tell us that we should reject this claim. So we do an inference on two propositions. We use the confidence interval and significance test tool. And so we'll put in the sample size for the US and for Europe and their successes respectively. And when we run it, we get a p-value of 0.15 with the test statistics of Z. And so at the 5% level of confidence, we would not reject this, right? So we would reject if this table would be so rare as to make us disbelieve the premise that the percentages were the same. So there's not enough to reject at the 5% level because 0.15 is more than 5%. And so 5% is our threshold typically for when we're going to say if the thing we come across happens less than 5% of the time, then we're going to say, hold up, wait, we are going to reject. But because 0.15 is more than 0.05, we will not reject.